reason why I don't let dogs lick me. We about to see how nasty their mouth really is under the microscope. As you can see, he collected sample of dog lick, and as you can see, it already looked like a pile of trash that you forgot to get up in the kitchen. And as he collected his sample of the actual dog lick, now let's
not dog lick. But let's see what he's talking about.
See how disgusting it really is under the microscope. Now let's see why Wisdom always be tripping when dogs try to lick him in the face.
And I know a lot of people to be sitting around letting their dogs lick them all in the mouth. Some people be like licking them too, like, bro, what is you doing? I understand that's your pet, but sometimes you gotta chill down, bro, especially in public.
As you can see, it looks like a parasite hookah lounge on a Friday night. Worms doing the stanky leg. All of this come from when dogs decide to lick you. And y'all think that I be just talking, but it's really dog licks out here catching bodies from a rare bacteria infection in the dog's saliva, like we just seen. So for everybody who likes sharing ice cream cones with dogs, letting them lick y'all in the mouth, taste testing the spoon that you're cooking with, you better chill out before you catch the clap.
Look, whoa, now the clap, now that's wild right there. That I ain't know he was gonna say that. He took it over the edge. But, you know, for y'all people that's out there, like, kissing your dogs and letting them lick you in the mouth, like, at least bring, like, some wet wipes with you to wipe up right after. Like, don't let it just sink into your pores. Like, I don't really get it, man. But it's cool, though. I still mess with y'all, though, because y'all subscribe to my channel.
This photo was recently taken over New Jersey of what looks like an orb by a lady named Nancy O'Connell on Facebook. It was taken a little over a week ago, and a lot of people have some ideas of what this could be. Now first, she explained that she used a real good camera and that's super zoomed in. Also, she was out looking for drones the night she got this photo. But some people think that this, what Nancy captured in the sky, reminds them of something else.
I wonder what they gonna say. People always making their assumptions, man. Like, people could say, I think it's this, I think it's that. To me, it looked like sand in the bottom of a barrel.
A Bible-accurate angel. These aren't my words. I don't know enough to say that, but that's what some people are speculating.
Hey, I ain't say this. I ain't say this.
Now here's what I found when I looked up Bible accurate angels. Look at the top left. Look up there. You see it? Doesn't this look a bit like Nancy's photo? But it also reminded me of something else.
Now, that's some weird stuff right there.
It's so much more than drones, New Jersey. Look at this video I found. Look who's coming to town. The big boys. New Jersey, something is about to go down. What do you think? Where's all my people from New Jersey?
Now that right there, that looked pretty cool. Y'all think that's CGI? Maybe. Who knows?
Comment below. These videos that I've been finding online are absolutely.
Now that's crazy.
Absolutely insane. And for everybody who's calm right now, great job. The only people I know that
I don't know, that look a little bit like CGI to me. If not, we need to be prepared. But
it's calm are the people who believe in Jesus. But I'm saying, New Jersey, you better believe. Listen.
That's what happens when it's like a tornado warning. They send the sirens.
Bro, what are these things? What are these things? Come on, you're telling me that that's from our dimension? Absolutely not. That is not from our dimension. There's even videos of portals being opened. Come on. Some of you guys say that it's because of what CERN's been doing in the Hadron Collider. That's possible. But
I mean, the videos may resemble portals, but I don't necessarily think they are portals what we seeing. But I'm pretty sure it's portals out there somewhere. But what we see, something totally different.
I want to know what you guys think. New Jersey, get ready. I'm praying for you guys for
let's talk about the final experiment. So first off, Antarctica doesn't exist on a flat Earth model. It's an ice wall. We can't go to Antarctica in that way. Where they would likely take them is to an offshoot island, which happens to be where they do all of these pictures and videos. Right off the bat, any flat earther that goes on that trip, in my opinion, is just weaponized opposition, because it doesn't even disprove the model that we're following. So right off the bat, I feel like they were playing in our faces, because anybody that knows this theory knows that one of the main points is that sundials could not work on a spinning spherical globe. Like, it's impossible. They only work on a flat Earth, and they show a sundial before the video even starts. And this isn't an accident. They're doing this to throw it in our faces. By their own globe standards, a sundial wouldn't even work. So why are you showing it other than to laugh in our face? Right off the bat, he made a claim that they were perfectly sat at 80 degrees, but that's not where Union Glacier is. Union Glacier is 69 miles away from that. He then mentions that they're using 360-degree cameras. I haven't heard of this, so I looked it up. Like, what are they used for? It says virtual reality, go figure. And funny enough, documentaries, like the ones that come out of Antarctica. And between the temperatures of Antarctica, the magnetism, and a few other factors, camera batteries do not last more than like an hour. He also started off the video by thanking multiple people that work for SHMASA, and one of them did a documentary of Antarctica at one point. And when I looked him up, it specifically talks about how he found ways to make adjustments to his cameras to view Antarctica more accurately. He also mentions how they had time-lapse footage of the sun, and it's like, you know, like I don't even have a real camera. On my phone, I could fake time-lapse footage.
Remember when Trump said you should ask the US government or the US military what these drones are? They know what's going on. It's true, because if you think about it, they freak out over weather balloons. They freak out over other drones that they fear are from another country, seeing it as a security issue. But when multiple people are reporting drones everywhere, radiation spikes, some of these drones are reported to be 6 feet. And not only that, there are drones reported in other countries. Now all of a sudden they're just like, oh, we don't know what it is. We're too scared to venture into the far lands of that. Anything could happen at this point, but one thing is for sure, they're not saying the exact truth. They're concealing something. And people are reporting a lot of plasma orbs or plasmoids. Some of you guys think they are sentient. Plasmoids, because they're made of plasma, can cause radiation spikes. Now, like I said in my previous videos, the property of plasma was studied by people during World Conflict II. It was also allegedly said to be involved in the Manhattan Project. Scientists have been talking about sentient technology for a while. They're using cells, organisms to create technologies. If back then in the 1940s, we decided that we were going to master plasma intelligence and we were going to create a tool for us to use, some of you guys would like to call it a WEA pawn. It'd be really funny if one of them got loose. It's traveling everywhere, and none of the governments know where it came from, and they're trying to scout it out. Plasmoids are, in a way, superpositioned. They can blip themselves in and out of places as they wish. So that means they can travel anywhere that they wish. And perhaps this is why we're seeing orbs everywhere, no matter which country. I don't know what is more concerning, the fact that the plasma orbs could be tied to human-based innovation, or it could be tied to the fact that it's not from this world. I mean, at this point, 2024 is coming to a very high bubbling point, and it's going to bubble over to 2025. And
Drone technology is about to enter a whole new era, as a Chinese drone scientist has been able to invent drones equipped with new technology to emit metal-cutting lasers. And yes,
if that's not creepy, like why would you want to do that? What's the purpose of that? Not to do high-rise buildings, or is it to do skyscrapers, or could it be used for some kind of warfare or anything like that? I don't know.
you heard that right. We have found a way to put lasers on little drones like the DJI drones right here, and said lasers are powerful enough to cut metal, and they're also powerful enough to cut human beings up at a considerable range, which is a...
Now, why would he mention that? That's wild. That's wild.
Very, very frightening and almost video game-esque scenario. We always imagined drones as being a bomb, as dropping a bomb, as shooting something, a projectile, a little Star Wars red laser that goes pew 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 and goes across the screen and you can dodge it. This is something that travels at the speed of light, makes no noise, and when they turn it on, whatever it's looking at is going to get vaporized.
Okay, so I made a TikTok about the plasmoids in New Jersey and it had over 1 million views and it got taken down. So I'm going to share some straight facts with you about a plasmoid crashing in Russia in the 90s and why these plasmoids might be sentient and intelligent and potentially hold consciousness. This is speculative.
How can a plasmoid crash into Russia? Like, do it just crash and like splat? Or like, what? I don't understand it.
TikTok, please just leave this up and leave me alone. New Jersey people have been seeing these. They're separate from the drones. They're called plasmoids because they literally look like plasma, the fourth state of matter, and they have to do with plasma. But it's called a plasmoid. Look it up in your own time or go to my plasma intelligence playlist. But obviously it's weird. And too many people are seeing them for it to not be something. I'm sure some images are fake, some are real. That's life. But supposedly the drones are flying around these. Maybe like observing them. Feel free to Google this yourself. November 1989, a declassified CIA document, Soviet military personnel reported encounters with a luminous plasma, referred to it as a plasmoid. These glowing orbs exhibited intelligent behavior, maneuvering in ways that defied conventional physics. According to the declassified report, these plasmoids were believed to be composed of ionized gases that were emitting light due to high energy states. Their erratic movement and their responsiveness led to some speculating that it was intelligent or sentient and an advanced technology. In one notable incident in the paper, a plasmoid crashed in a remote region in the Soviet Union. Investigators found no conventional materials, no metal debris, or electronic components, only residual electromagnetic anomalies. The absence of physical evidence deepened the mystery surrounding these plasmoids' origins and purpose. Now, modern day, what's going on right now with these plasmoids is eerily similar to this. These large luminous orbs floating everywhere. And guess what, guys? They've always been here since the beginning of time and history. Look at my other videos on plasmoids. These are the glowing balls of intelligent fire in the Bible and mythology, the divine feminine, the burning bush, Ezekiel's wheel. And for some weird reason, everywhere in the news, no one is talking about plasmoids. It is only on TikTok. But the evidence is there on these CIA papers. Very similar. Both are unknown origin so far, emitting bright luminous lights, moving around in weird ways. Could this be a resurgence of the same phenomena? This is not the best picture. Or are these manifestations of new technologies that we've learned how to create? Because we can. Plasmoids can also be created in a laboratory. If you follow my YouTube, which is brand new in case any of these videos get taken down, I'm going to do a deep dive on all different types of plasmoids, intelligent, inorganic, sentient, non-sentient, ones that hold consciousness, alien life. And Princeton Plasma Physics is studying these and they're in New Jersey. Just speculating. Oh, and there are CIA papers on the structure of plasmoids from the 50s and 60s and 2000s and how one can create a plasmoid or plasma bursts. Do your research yourself.
Hey, who out there trying to create plasmoids and stuff like that? I don't know, it seems a little dangerous. It seems like it's a high possibility of radiation poisoning if you ask me. I'll let y'all do it. I'll just watch the videos and report on it.
Take my word for it. The last thing I'll say about these plasmoids, they are one small piece of a very large puzzle of plasma intelligence and how you can use your consciousness to connect with these plasma beings, this plasma field. Once again, it's very complicated. There are many different things within this. I'm writing a book about it. I've been doing this for years. It's about plasma and consciousness synergy and how to harness plasma with your consciousness and how to also communicate with plasma. You could sign up for it. The link is in my bio or don't, whatever. If this speaks to you, if this is speaking to your heart and you know this is more than what everyone's saying and you know it's benevolent and you just have a feeling that plasma is more like your grandparent or your family, your soul family, having messages for us to do the right thing, to listen to our inner self and our heart and our soul, to follow our greatest destinies. Yes, this is where reality is going. And some people cannot cope with that, and it really bothers logical people. There are logical people that also dream, but just straight logical people hate this. Just wait for what is in store with plasma. Bye! Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. If you're still here, why they hold consciousness? I have a theory that plasma is the vehicle for consciousness. Think of a higher intelligence consciousness as remote viewing us through these plasma warp bubbles. Basically, their consciousness is somewhere else and also viewing us at the same time, like a little looking glass. Remote viewing is also something that was studied by the CIA. Look it up yourself once again. Basically, I think these higher consciousness beings are remote viewing us to see how we are, to try to communicate with us, blah, blah, blah. As I said, some might be government created and are not doing this. Some might, and some might not be. That is for you to decide based on what you think is true and what resonates with you. It does make sense that a higher intelligence would remote view us this way. It keeps them safe. It lets them observe us. Oh my God, wait, for those of you that are still here, you get the biggest Easter egg of them all. In the movie Fantastic Planet 1973, the aliens, they literally meditate with their consciousness and go into these orbs, or what I would call a plasma bubble, to travel and have a mating ritual with beings from other galaxies. If that was happening, that'd be hilarious. But either way, these meditation orbs, this vehicle for consciousness, this is like, someone messaged me this on Instagram, or no, they said this on my YouTube, but this on my Plasmoid video, look it up on my YouTube. This is the perfect example of what I think is happening. Oh my shot.
AI just solved an ancient mystery that's baffled people for centuries, and it's absolutely wild. Let me explain. If you didn't know, in Peru, there are these massive desert drawings that you can only see from the air called the Nazca lines. They're about 2,000 years old. For decades, we only knew about 450 of these geoglyphs, but thanks to AI and drone photography, we've now doubled that number, as well as started to understand their categories and meanings. Some of these
The whole time we find out that it was a bunch of elementary students. It was like a little class project where they go out and just draw these things, and we thinking it's some bigger understanding, and that'd be wild.
discoveries are pretty great, like knife-wielding orcas like the whale, Wall-E-like objects, and human figures that are absolutely beautiful. And these are all carved into the desert floor about the size of a football field. The wild part is scientists and archaeologists have been looking at this space as well as satellite photography for decades, and then comes along AI and it looks at the same photography and was able to pick up these new geoglyphs in a matter of minutes. By far, this is one of my favorite use cases of AI technologies. The ability for AI to see and sense things that our five senses cannot pick up. This is going to revolutionize a variety of fields, from medical to security to science to financials. It's going to be able to see patterns and things that we just can't capture on a day-to-day basis. Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is there an ancient mystery you would love AI to tackle next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow for more AI news.
NASA just discovered a parallel universe next to ours.
This will not go well.
Yeah, so they just
Uh-oh. He about to demolish her.
discovered it in Antarctica, and they have an antenna that scans cosmic particles, and they discovered that they're running backwards in this specific place.
So she's referring to the Anita radio antenna in Antarctica, which back in 2016 and again in 2018 detected exactly two neutrinos which were traveling upward from the ground rather than downward from space. And I mean two. And keep in mind, at any moment in time, trillions of neutrinos are passing through you from the sun. But anyway, they weren't traveling backwards in time, they just came from an unexpected direction, the ground rather than the sky. And keep in mind, no one in the scientific community thinks that this is a special place. Rather, it just happens to be where Anita is.
These cosmic particles were coming up from there. So basically, that is completely against all physics that we know of.
Yeah, so this is an anomaly for sure. There's three options. Either it's instrument error, it's a very rare event that can happen in ordinary well-understood physics, or it's a more common, but still rare, event that occurs as a result of new, still unknown physics. The first two options are not likely, so these detections are exciting. As far as I can tell from briefly surveying the existing literature, there's still no consensus as to the cause of these events. Possible explanations include axionic dark matter, sterile neutrinos, supersymmetry, heavy dark matter, and yes, a CPT-symmetric anti-universe.
Dr. Gorham from the University of Hawaii theorizes that these particles are just transforming to bypass Earth's dense matter.
So Gorham is indeed the lead researcher, and the original idea proposed by the group after the first signal was detected was that a tau neutrino underwent a standard process of transforming into a tau lepton, traveled through the Earth, and then decayed back into a neutrino before being detected. The trouble is that if that were the cause, seeing a second such event, which happened 2 years later, shouldn't have happened. That's how rare it would have been. Hence, the anomaly.
Basically, there's something very different about this area of Antarctica.
That's not true. It just happens to be where the antenna is.
The particles are definitely reacting in a way that are completely opposing what we know about modern physics.
Well, yeah, sure. That's why it's exciting. But it doesn't mean there's a parallel universe.
His most straightforward explanation theory is that when the Big Bang happened, it created two universes where one is opposite of ours.
This is what happens when you read an article on MSN.com or Apple News rather than actually reading the source. That idea has nothing to do with Gorham or his team. That idea, that there is a CPT symmetric anti-universe coexisting with ours, comes from a separate research group. Of course, the idea is theoretically sound, but so is string theory, but that doesn't mean it's true. And in fact, there's some evidence that suggests that their hypothesis is wrong. In particular, a paper from 2019 seems to rule out that possibility because another neutrino observatory, IceCube, didn't detect anything, whereas their theory suggests something should have been seen there. So as of today, this remains a mystery, but the anti-universe idea is probably dead, at least for now.
There could be another explanation that we just don't know yet.
You probably should have just led with that, or just not posted a video that's years out of date.